Und da sind wir wieder zurück mit The Council. Immer noch die Frage, who done it? Wer war's? Wer hat hier die arme Elizabeth umgebracht? Ich wollte mir noch schnell Emilys Zimmer angucken. Weiß aber ehrlich gesagt nicht so. Ist das jetzt wieder... Das ist jetzt wieder Dings Zimmer, ne? Elizabeth. Wo ist denn Emilys Zimmer? Ich bin jetzt dreimal im Kreis gelaufen und habe Emilys Zimmer nicht einmal gefunden. Washington, damit haben wir angefangen. Was lag denn da auf dem Stuhl? Kann man nicht angucken. Okay, aber da liegt noch was in der Ecke. Sehr gut. Eine Sammlermünze. Ach, da ist auch noch ein Zimmer. Aber da kommen wir nicht rein. Ich will halt jetzt nichts übersehen. Ich habe auch keine Ahnung, wen ich jetzt beschuldigen sollte. Mir ist nämlich so eingefallen, dass grundsätzlich auch Männer kleine Finger haben können, ne? Es können auch Männer kleine Hände haben. Also auch zum Beispiel Kardinal hat ja auch recht kleine Hände. Wenn man das mal so betrachtet.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Ja, den würde ich auch gern mal befragen. Den lieben Herzog. Und das
Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Ah, okay, hier ist Emilys Zimmer. Alles klar, dann gucken wir uns nämlich jetzt da noch schnell um. Und dann hoffen wir, dass die uns auch irgendwelche Hinweise geben kann.
King George III in coronation robes. Nice touch for the room of an English Duchess.
Mhm, King George, aha. Und was liegt denn darum? Liebe I, ich habe deinen letzten Brief erhalten. Leider hat die Krone dem Goldenen Orden mitgeteilt, dass unsere Mission Sir Gregorys Pläne unter keinen Umständen behindern darf. Zweifelsohne genießt sie Unterstützung von höchster Ebene des Buckingham Palace. Das bedeutet für uns beide, dass wir nur wenig Handlungsspielraum haben. Halte mich auf dem Laufenden, unsere Mission wird von Tag zu Tag komplizierter. PS, die französische Sektion des Ordens scheint nichts über das Eintreffen unserer Freundin Sarah zu wissen. Daher kann ich nichts dazu sagen. Ich vermute jedoch, dass sie aus persönlichen Gründen hier ist. Also ein Brief, den Emily an Emma geschrieben hat. Gott, hoffentlich tauchen die beiden nie gleichzeitig auf, das wird verwirrend.
Grammar of Port-Royal. Ah, the artistry of the French language and all its splendor. Whoever masters French commands the world. At least une partie of it.
Ja, Frankreich und die französischsprachige Schweiz. Ah, und Kanada und Belgien so ein bisschen. Aber ich glaube, Deutsch wird in mehr Ländern gesprochen. So, Goldelixier.
William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Emily has indeed some powerful backers.
Herzogin, Sie können König George davon in Kenntnis setzen, dass ihm die Unterstützung des Heiligen Vaters gewiss ist. Wir werden Sie bei der Rekrutierung von Regimentern aus emigrierten Royalisten, die gegen Frankreich kämpfen sollen, finanziell unterstützen. Ihr Freund, seine Eminenz Giuseppe Piaggi. Aha.
2 coils circle the lock.
Okay, kein Schlüssel und nicht genug Punkte zum Schloss knacken. Gut.
A letter from William Pitt the Elder, addressed to Emily. He was the English Prime Minister. This letter dates from 15 years ago now. Madam.
Madam, ich werde Ihnen nie genug für Ihre Fürsorge und Aufmerksamkeit danken können. Ich werde bis zu meinem letzten Atemzug in Ihrer Schuld stehen. Sollten Sie etwas brauchen, lassen Sie es mich wissen. Was meinen Sohn William angeht, werde ich Ihnen nie genug dafür danken können, dass Sie sich um ihn kümmern. Sie kennen seine Vorlieben und wissen, was er dringend braucht. Daher, und wie mit Königin Charlotte vereinbart, wird unser Freund Herzog Hillsborough seinen Auftrag ausführen und uns innerhalb von 6 Monaten treffen. Anschließend werden Sie frei von Not sein. Hochachtungsvoll William Pitt, Count of Chatham oder Chatham. Aha, ich möchte das aber immer noch gern durchsuchen.
A devil's thorn. To be used to uncover the best disguised traits.
Okay. Ja, das heißt keine Honig für uns. Okay, dann reden wir aber mit Emily.
What can I do for you, Louis?
I've come to see you about last night's tragedy. Did you hear anything about what happened to Elizabeth?
Yes, we all did. Rumors spread quickly, you know. How awful. I didn't know her well. But I hope at least the poor thing didn't suffer too much.
Er soll sich keine Sorgen machen? Sie soll sich keine Sorgen machen, oder?
Death came quickly. You can be assured of that.
If such a senseless act can happen here, then none of us is truly safe anywhere. Lord Mortimer must be mortified that one of his guests could have committed such an act, don't you think?
He is indeed very upset about it. It's only natural after such a violent murder.
Violent? What do you mean?
Elizabeth was stabbed 9 times.
Oh my God, Louis. How awful. The murderer must have had a serious grudge against her to set upon her like that. It must have been a crime of passion. Do you know what happened exactly?
In fact, Lord Mortimer has asked me to look into this case, Emily.
Really? Are you Lord Mortimer's snoop now?
I'm doing it for Elizabeth, not to please Mortimer.
Good for you. Quite right, too. Have you found out anything?
Wo war sie denn gestern Abend?
I'm now interviewing all the guests to establish the alibis for each person. Just so that I can cross you off the list of suspects, can you tell me what you were doing on the night of the murder?
Am I given to understand that I'm on the list of suspects?
Don't take it the wrong way, but I must consider every possibility.
Well, if you absolutely wanted to be sure of my activities that evening, you only had to join me, you know.
I know, Emily. Especially since I couldn't prevent the murder, even though I spent part of the evening with Elizabeth.
You're sure it's not too hard to bear for you?
The fact is, I don't have a choice. But I will find the murderer. I owe Elizabeth that, at least.
Ihr Verhältnis zu Elizabeth.
Did you and Elizabeth get to know each other?
I must admit, Louis, I didn't take much interest in her. I feel a bit guilty about it, but I never actually spoke to her. She seemed burdened by her problems, and as she wasn't invited to the conference, I didn't really seek her out.
Ich bin total fasziniert von ihrem Korsett. Oder, ja, Korsett, das ist eigentlich schon... Das ist hinten bis zum Arsch offen. Und wie bleibt denn das dann bitte stehen? Da müssen Stäbe oder irgendwas eingearbeitet sein. Aber dann wird es nicht so eng anliegen. Also die Dinger sehen ja aus, als würden sie gleich raushüpfen. Ich sag das als Frau. Ich könnte so ein Kleid, glaube ich, keine 10 Minuten aushalten. Andere Gäste. Sie auf ihre Korrespondenz mit Piaggi ansprechen.
I hear you were in discussions with the Holy See.
Oh, either His Eminence can't keep his tongue from wagging, or you've been poking your nose where you shouldn't, sir.
Even so, Emily, you're raising a royalist army. That's no small matter.
And you are straying from the subject. Is there anything else you wanted to ask me?
Auch das Stück Stoff?
I found a torn piece of dress in Miss Adams' room. Gray silk.
Where's it from?
That's what I'm trying to find out. The color doesn't match any of Elizabeth's dresses, but I might not have found all of her clothes yet.
Good Lord, Louis, do you realize what this means? If this piece of dress isn't from Elizabeth, then it's... I don't have any grey silk dresses, Louis. Neither does my sister, since we wear the same clothes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to check with you.
I'm so sorry, Louis.
Thank you.
Are you all right? You know, I'm sure there's a good reason why your mother was at the scene.
Thank you, Emily.
Ja, guck mal, die hat aber schnell die gleichen Schlüsse gezogen wie wir auch, ne? Der Dolch wurde von einer Frau geführt.
We found the murder weapon.
What is it?
A dagger, quite slim.
Have you found its owner?
Not yet. Still searching as it happens. That said, since the blade penetrated the body several times, the murderer's hand will have been covered in blood.
You think that's a clue?
The handprint was a very slender hand, Emily. Probably that of a woman.
Do you realize what that means? There are only 3 of us on the island. Bearing in mind that neither my sister nor myself had any reason to set upon the young lady, that means...
I know, Emily. I know.
Keep up your courage, Louis. I'm sure there's an explanation. You're bound to shed some light on it all.
If what you say is true, Emily, I'm less and less enthusiastic about shedding any light on the subject.
Okay.
I won't keep you, Emily. Thank you for answering my questions.
See you, Louis.
Dann gehen wir. Ja, ich hab's befürchtet. Es sieht immer mehr danach aus, als wäre es unsere Mutter gewesen und ich weiß nicht, was ich jetzt noch hier machen kann, um Hinweise zu finden. Vielleicht mich nach unten umschauen. Ich kann nicht runter. Okay, alles klar. Ich kann nur hoch. Ich kann nicht runter. Das heißt, ich kann auch Lord Home oder wie der hieß nicht befragen. Den hätte ich gerne noch befragt. Gerne noch rausgefunden, was der zu der ganzen Sache meint. Aber gut. Dann ist es wohl so. Dann kann ich wohl nur nach oben und dem lieben Mortimer Bescheid sagen, dass ich keine Ahnung habe, wer sie umgebracht hat. Hoffentlich kann ich das sagen. Weil sonst wüsste ich jetzt nicht, wen ich... Also, außer ich kann meine Mutter irgendwie beschuldigen. Das ist momentan die, die ich am meisten verdächtige. Wahrscheinlich, vielleicht hat sie auch einfach, keine Ahnung, Peru den Auftrag gegeben, aber dann wäre sie nicht selbst anwesend gewesen. Ich weiß es nicht. Und hier wäre die ganze Zeit Honig gestanden. Ihr wollt mich doch verarschen. Mano. Okay. Was haben wir hier? Oh, noch ein Buch. Nehme ich auch mit. Und da glitzert noch eine Münze. Habe ich mich hier nicht umgeguckt vorhin? Pfui, Bösunker. Okay, dann, Mortimer, ich habe keine Ahnung. Das tut mir jetzt leid. Lasst euch doch die Polizei kommen lassen, damit die vernünftig arbeiten.
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
I'm listening, Louis.
Ich habe Hinweise, möchte aber niemanden beschuldigen.
I'm sorry, my lord, but I don't have any evidence conclusive enough to allow me to name the culprit with certitude.
Really? I see. Well, that's your decision, Louis, and I accept it. Given the distinguished guests and the sensitive political issues involved at the conference, I trust you'll leave me to conclude the case in my own way. Right.
Das ist der
It's
Vogel.
time we spoke about your mother, Louis.
Dieses Pfeifen im Hintergrund ist der Vogel. Oh Mann, okay. Sie versteckt sich.
She seems to be making every effort to steer clear of your guests.
What do you mean?
For the past few weeks, my mother's been playing cat and mouse, if you will. I don't know why, but it wouldn't surprise me to learn that she's trying to avoid someone. The question is, who?
And in your opinion, would she be the cat or the mouse?
Die Katze.
Knowing my mother, she would be the cat.
That doesn't make me feel any better, Louis.
What was the official reason why my mother came to your island?
I knew about your mother's activities and yours in the Golden Order. I thought we had everything to gain by working together.
You mean the canon deal with Monsieur Bonaparte?
Among others, yes. How did you hear about that?
Monsieur Bonaparte came to speak to me about it yesterday, during lunch.
I see. So impetuous. He was supposed to let me speak to you about it first. Our friend Napoleon desperately needed financial backing to properly equip his army. I took it upon myself to back him because I have a firm conviction that he can go far.
We shall see. However, there's one thing that surprises me.
Hat meine Mutter Waffen verkauft?
Did my mother intend to finance a war? I'm not sure that I follow.
No, your mother's aim was not so much to partake in a war, but rather to make Monsieur Bonaparte accountable. France is in turmoil, and having the support of a military man can often come in handy, Louis. You'll see. Once this deal was closed, I had big plans for Sarah.
Such as what?
You see, I've invited several influential figures on my island to present them with a project at the conference. It will be presented later today. I thought that the Golden Order had a role to play. And I still think so. I was hoping Sarah would be able to join us.
I see.
Indeed, if by chance your mother decided not to return to us before the conference, would you do me the great honor of attending? If only to follow the deliberations while waiting for her to duly take her seat.
Why not? We shall see.
Ah, thank you so much. In this way, you'll be able to keep your mother informed of what he said. There's something else I'd like to briefly go over. Earlier, you asked me the official reason for your mother's presence here. Is there an off-the-record reason why your mother came here?
Sind wir ehrlich mit ihm oder nicht? Doch, vielleicht kann uns helfen. Sie hat einen Käufer gesucht.
She was looking for someone.
What do you mean?
In Paris, we were working on a smuggling case to do with occult objects. We had just arrested a dealer who intended to go to you to meet a buyer. My mother was here to find out to whom he intended to sell his stolen treasure.
Oh. What was the name of your dealer?
Von Borcher.
The dealer was called von Burchard. As for the buyer, he was unknown to us.
No, I don't know anything about that. There's something I still don't get. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
Vielleicht traut sie jemandem nicht.
Her not coming back to the manor after so long makes me wonder if she is wary of someone.
Well, certainly. But whom? The only ones who were present during her stay were Sir Gregory, Duchess Hillsborough, Mr. von Wohler, and myself.
Und Home? Adams war ebenfalls hier.
You forget Elizabeth Adams, my lord.
That's true. But Gregory and I arranged it so that they wouldn't run into each other. I thought it had worked. Do you think that your mother felt she was in danger because of Elizabeth?
It's possible.
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. At the beginning of her stay here, we enjoyed spending time together, solving the world's problems.
Okay, worüber haben Sie sich unterhalten?
You seem to know my mother very well, my lord. What did you talk about together?
Oh, as soon as we had a little free time, we liked to share points of view about practically any subject. We would find ourselves embarked on interminable discussions that could go from Monsieur Blanchard's flight in a hot air balloon to the Treaty of Jassy, or the adoption of the metric system in France last year, or even Mr. Eli Whitney's invention in the United States.
Whitneys Ekreniermaschine? Oder der Frieden von Jassy?
The armistice between the Russians and the Turks. Russia's come out of it having officially won Crimea, which gives it direct access to the Black Sea.
And, at the same time, the Mediterranean Sea. I'm worried about the decisions Tsarina Catherine might decide to take. She's a woman who managed to get rid of her husband to accede to the upper reaches of power. Gaining access to the Mediterranean Sea remains her main objective. When she still had that dear Potemkin as her lover, I could always find out about her intentions, but those days are over.
Grigory Potemkin?
You're speaking of Grigory Alexandrovich Potemkin?
The very man. The little devil behind the mother of all Russians. Since his death, I know absolutely nothing of what the Tsarina is up to.
Oh, really?
Ah, yes. I didn't mean to shock you. Please forgive me. Let's just say that, in my position, it is often advantageous to know about the habits and customs of world leaders.
I'm surprised she didn't get you started on the Crusades. It was her favorite subject.
Are you joking? Sarah and I spent entire days together reliving them. It so happens that the Crusades are also my subject of predilection, especially the third. My ancestor distinguished himself brilliantly during the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Die berühmte päpstliche Bulle von Papst Gregor des Achten?
Mother lulled my childhood with tales of the Crusades. How Richard the Lionheart and Philip Augustus had to battle it out to achieve their ends. And how Guy de Lusignan, having broken his word, launched the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Oh, I see Sarah's lessons have inspired new enthusiasts. Good on you, because not everyone can claim they know as much at your age. Your mother is a very well-read woman. You're quite lucky to have her as a model, Louis.
Yes, I know, but I'm still very worried.
I must admit, there are worse things to worry about now, Louis.
What do you mean?
Since she disappeared, your mother has been seen once. Her behavior on the evening of your arrival greatly surprised Gregory and myself. She resurfaced to attack Emma, Emily Hillsborough's twin sister. And she shot her with a pistol. Then, before Gregory could intervene, she ran off and disappeared again.
I beg your pardon? Hang on. That means
my vision on the wharf. It was actually happening inside the manor. Mother shot Emily's sister? The very person she came looking for? Why would she do that?
Excuse me, but between that and the childhood of Lady Adams, it's all a bit much for me to cope with. I need to piece it all together again to see things more clearly. You said that you spent a lot of time talking together at the beginning. What happened for that to change?
I'm afraid I haven't much to tell you. The more the days went by, the more she withdrew into herself. She never gave me an explanation. Until the day came when she purely and simply disappeared.
Where did she go when she wanted to be alone?
She would shut herself away in a room we use as a box room upstairs.
Would you allow me to go there?
Naturally, Louis, of course. I'll send you a servant to open it.
Thank you.
One last thing, although I don't know if there is a connection.
I'm listening.
A gate was forced the other night near the wharf. Nothing serious, just a few small things damaged.
Ja, das war ich.
Sorry, my lord, but I was searching for leads to my mother. I thought I was hot on her trail and didn't take any precautions.
Well, you could have reported it to a servant. But never mind. I shall put it down to your ardor and anxiety. However, please try to respect my estate in future.
I certainly will. Please accept my sincerest apologies.
That's all I can tell you about the disappearance of your mother, Louis. I would like to have been more helpful.
I shall stay on her trail and follow up any leads.
Thank you. We will meet later on to welcome our last guest. In the meantime, I shall get someone to open the box room upstairs for you.
Thank you.
Guck mal. Wir kriegen die Abstellkammer und noch ein Gast.
The room is just opposite Mortimer's study.
Aber ich würde jetzt sagen, an der Stelle beenden wir die Folge. Wir sehen uns beim nächsten Mal wieder, wenn wir vielleicht näher an das Mysterium rankommen, was eigentlich mit unserer Mutter passiert ist und warum hat sie Emma erschossen und warum weiß vor allem Mortimer davon, aber Emily noch nicht. Ich habe so viele Fragen und momentan irgendwie noch keine Antworten, aber ich bin sicher, wir kriegen das alles raus. Würde mich freuen, wenn ihr wieder dabei seid. Bis morgen. Ciao, ciao.